What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 12 American words I now use every day, part 2 by Lots of Pond. Check out part 1 because I'm pretty sure we've done part 1.
We did, I checked.
Sometimes we do just do part 2 or 3 or whatever without checking there's a part 1 and never doing, but we've done this, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'll try and remember to put the link in the description. Go check that out. Let's do part 2. If we won't have any correlation, it'll just be different words.
Yep.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Smash the like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. What is the like goal for today?
2,500.
Oh, that's a lot for a losty as well. So smash that like button. We'd really appreciate it. Comment down below any British words or American words if you're British that you use every day, which you I never use that until potentially watched us or something else.
Yeah.
Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. Let's check out 12 American words I now use every day. Part 2. What we got?
Hello, this video is sponsored by Wondrium. I'm Lawrence and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to words, specifically American English words that since living in the United States I've come to use every single day.
Yep.
Now you might remember that a few minutes ago in the month of August, I did a video looking at 12 such words, and as promised in that very video, here is a sequel.
Okay.
Because when you move to another country, there's no getting away from the fact that you'll absolutely take on its vocabulary in spades. And so without further ado, here are 12 American English words that I now use every single day, part 2. I don't know how they do it, but they do. It feels like every single summer, without fail, I'll go to my windowsill and there'll be a bug on there with dots all around it, right? And we have those in England, we have them here. It's usually dead, which is very sad and very tragic. And just thinking about it makes it hard to complete this video. But I must. Now in Britain, I always knew this insect as a ladybird, but the only ladybird they've ever had in the United States was a first lady, which I don't know how that works. But here, I came to learn that they're referred to as ladybugs. I think
ladybug sounds cuter.
Well, it makes more sense. It's a bug. It is a bug. Like, ladybird, when's a bird come from?
I think I've started saying ladybug.
I suppose it does fly, doesn't it? A little bit. It's got a little wings.
Yeah, they do fly that way.
Because it used to be sad when, like, you'd see they've got a damaged wing and won't go properly, but yeah.
Yeah, I prefer bug.
Yeah, I actually prefer bug.
I always have to tell my wife, oh, there's another dead ladybug on the window. I have to use that word in order to communicate it without any sense of confusion. One of the common features of American English words that have entered my vocabulary is that they pertain to something that I use quite frequently. And that's very much true of these because I live with a cat. And in Britain, we generally know these as plasters. Whereas in the United States, they could go by a couple of names like Elastoplast, right? Ooh. That's the brand name on this one. But mostly people refer to them as Band-Aids, which is also a brand name that's become genericized. I just thought I'd make that clear for my British viewers so that they don't think it has anything to do.
If I thought a Band-Aid, I'd think like a big white thing going around. Like a bandage, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like a bandage, I think, as a band-aid.
I get it. It aids, and it's like it's a type of bandage.
Oh, I completely get it.
I get it, but I feel like a plaster just
because I'm used to plastic. If I heard band-aid, I would think they're talking about
a head bandage.
A head bandage or something like that.
With the 1985 supergroup of the same name. Anyway, I've opened this now, and I don't have any genuine wounds. Forehead. Put it on my forehead.
I thought forehead.
All right. Well, the producers made me do this, probably for ratings. Ooh, look at silly Lawrence with a plaster on his head. Plaster's what we call them in the UK. This one I use fairly commonly, and it turns out that banking in general has a lot of terminology differences between our two countries. But a checking account, as in your main account, is the kind of banking account that I use most often. So it's the one that I actually articulate the most.
Yep.
And the same was true when I lived in England, only there I'd refer to it as a current account, not because it's
I'm not bothered either way.
Currents,
I'd get both.
Because I actually don't know why, but that's what it's called. In America, we say checking account, and when somebody sends a YouTube...
My guess would be current, as in like it's the current account you're using. You've got a savings account, but you're currently using this account for spending. Would be my guess. But checking current, it's not a biggie, is it?
Sensation, a lot of some money. We often have to determine where that's going to end up. So I'll tell my wife, I think we should put it in the checking account. She usually overrules that and rightly puts it into savings. But, I'm trying my best. Ever so occasionally, I do find myself using this phrase, like it happened a few months ago when we got a parking app for the first time. And while filling out details on the app, I had to ask
Although our parking app that we have says license plate. Put license plate in, please.
I don't know why. I think I'd say license plate. Yeah. Let's see what Lawrence says for us.
What is our license plate number? And do you know what she said? I don't know. Get out of the car and look. so I did. And I'm not going to reveal the details of that, but the fact remains that I say license plate now. You just do. It just enters your vocabulary. In Britain, we would say number plate.
Yeah, but
2008 Lawrence would be a
mixture.
little bit surprised to discover that 2022 Lawrence uses the word specialty, but in attempting to use the British English variant of this word, which is speciality, I've had some odd looks, especially at work. They'll often giggle at me. Ooh, he put an extra vowel or two in there. Who does he think he is? Shakespeare? I am descended, probably, but that's not the point. And I don't know, I happen to have worked in American jobs where that word comes up every now and again because, you know, you work with specialty services and the like. So it's just sort of happened. Nowadays, I have my own washing machine here in the building, but back in the day, we used to have to get all of our dirty clothes together, stick them in the car and head down to the laundrette. At least that's the word I would used to have used in the UK.
Yeah.
But here in the Midwest, while I'm sure people would still understand what I mean, the preferred term is laundromat. And when you go there
I've never heard laundromat before, have you?
No, I've never.
But I was trying to figure out what actually laundromat was at first, but as soon as you said laundrettes, I get it. But yeah, that's the first, isn't it?
It is first.
Often, and you sort of converse with each other about the fact that you're going there, you just end up saying the word and keeping it as part of your vocabulary. Funnily enough, I was reading just the other day that Americans used to refer to it as a washateria, a word that is still used in parts of the South. And it's funny that we're on the subject of laundry, because every now and then when I'm cleaning the clothes, I'll pull out, you know, some socks and I'll find one of these inside it. This right here is what is known in the United States as a bobby pin. My wife doesn't know I have this right now, but then she also doesn't know the whereabouts of most of her bobby pins, so I think it's probably okay. Now, I didn't have much reason when I lived in the UK to describe these on a consistent basis, except, you know, when I forgot my keys. But when I did, I usually refer to this as a Kirby grip. And it's very...
A hair grip.
I've never used one.
Funny, because
that might be northern.
Maybe.
Turns out that there's actually a lot of word differences within the realm of hair accessories. And that's before we even get into the bangs versus fringe debate.
Barrette. They call a hairstyle barrette.
Yeah.
Plait. We do say plaits, but we do say braids as well.
Yeah.
I think we
refer to like a big one, and then a braid is like a little.
No, I feel like we refer to braids like plaits as like two plaits, one plait, blah blah. A braid is one like a French braid or a Dutch braid.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Top.
And it's like the really tight ones.
Yeah. We call those braids.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Alice band. We do say Alice bands for headbands. We also say headbands.
Yeah, headbands is easy.
A headband is for me is a thicker one. An Alice band is the thin ones you get when you go to school, like you have the Alice band.
Oh, okay. There we go. History lesson.
I could do with a fringe right now.
History.
And here's another thing that I use every single day, at least on those days where I leave the house, which is once a month. And that is those paved walkways at the side of roads that are designated for pedestrians and occasionally maverick cyclists. In Britain, of course, I always knew this as the pavement, whereas in America, famously, they refer to it as a sidewalk, which, you know, makes sense. It's quite literal. It says what it does. And that's useful.
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject of American walkways, let me tell you about something that I discovered recently. Remember when I told you about the Great Courses Plus? Well, the team behind...
In a second. If you want to see the ad, launch the channels below.
Description below. Recently, the three of us, me, my wife and my cat, have done a much better job of eating at home. Actually, in my cat's case, that's all he's ever done. So kudos to him. Not that he does any of the prep work, so previous sentence rescinded. The point is, we're much better about this now, but during the pandemic, it became quite common for us to get takeout. We were just in that zone where, ooh, we're housebound, so we might as well just have food delivered to us. And while that's not quite the same thing as takeout, that's delivery. In our house, delivery and takeout has somehow gone under the umbrella of takeout, so that's just the way it is. And I use this word.
We call it takeaway, don't we?
Yeah, we call it takeaway.
I just said it's the same thing. Going to gate and taking it away, and then delivery, takeaway for me.
Yeah, if we went to McDonald's, we'd be getting a takeaway. They call it a takeaway, don't they?
Takeaway McDonald's. If we're taking it away. And if I'm the Chinese,
one that gets delivered, I would still call that takeaway.
Yeah, I'm having a takeaway tonight, but it's getting delivered. Yeah. So we will launch on that one. Yeah, definitely.
Now all the time, but I couldn't have imagined using this when I first moved to the US. People were telling me, "Oh, you know, when you go there, don't start calling it takeout instead of takeaway." Well, guess what? I've turned to the dark side, and there's nothing you can do about it because I live 4,000 miles away. And I might even turn to those people and say, you know what, mate, I am not obligated to do anything that I don't want to do, all right? And they'll turn back around and say, you mean obliged, young sir, because that's what I used to say. And I stopped. I don't know why. I don't have one preference over the other. It's just that the word obligated evidently felt obligated to enter my vocabulary, and now it will remain so long as I live in the US. Earlier in this video I mentioned parking, but that was usually referring to parking by the side of the road. But often you'll find yourself at somebody's establishment who, you know, they're quite popular, so they need to fill out a number of spaces just for people to go into their establishment. Well, that thing is usually called a parking lot here in the United States. And of course, back home, I would refer to this as a car park. Yeah. It just doesn't ever more roll off my tongue. There would have been a time in the first few years of living in the United States where I still defaulted to car park. But I think the commonality of the experiences in which you talk about a car park mean that without realizing the point at which it happens, it just happens. And you start using the lingo of the people around you. And today, I now say parking lot. And all of this is especially weird because I don't even drive, right? I live in Chicago. I have trains, I have sidewalks, I have bicycles, which I ride on the road. And sometimes when I am riding on the road and it's nighttime, I might have to have one of these, although it would be referred to as a bike light in that instance.
I think we're torch.
One of these if I'm going down to the basement to find,
we're definitely torch.
I don't know, a box of screwdrivers. And for the purposes of a demonstration, I was just wondering if we could dim the lights in here so I could show it off. Yeah, I use it every day. All right, thank you. Here's what I used to refer to in Britain as a torch. It's dead. The battery's dead. That's, well, no, I don't use it every day. I thought I'd get away with it. I don't go down to the basement. It's creepy.
Yeah, avoid the basement. Always.
But when I do use this, can we have the lights back on, please? But when I do use this, I've slowly come to refer to it as a flashlight, as in, Tara, the entire power's gone out and it's nighttime, where's the flashlight? I don't know, Lawrence. That's not how she speaks. Why don't you turn on a flashlight? Then you'll be able to see where it is. Ha ha ha, hilarious. Anyway, it's just another example of a thing that I have to use every single day, or once a month, or a year, when I go camping. That's it for this episode. That
was good, wasn't it?
It was good, yeah. Lots of words that we probably wouldn't have thought about.
Definitely. We even had one in the UK, what we say different. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button.
Archie's woke up.
Archie's woke up. Oh, he is. He's smiling away. We'll go and see him. Smash that like button, guys. Smash subscribe button. Check out Lawrence's link in the description. Let us know what other words is. We're coming, lad. We are coming. See you, legends, in the next one. What should we do?
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.